Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on KNOE streaming app. My name is Mallory West and I will be hosting the show today. Some housekeeping to do first. If you're here, that means you're on our website or our streaming app. So thank you so much for being on those and watching, and be sure to let everyone else know so that they can keep up with the news too. Now to start, we have a lot of fun things planned for our streaming show today. We have things like a revitalization going on in West Monroe. We have a nonprofit looking for volunteers. We have something about the Monroe Airport and Senator Bill Cassidy. So we have a lot of fun stories coming up, but we're going to start locally first with that revitalization program in West Monroe. And I actually went and visited the building today, and it is an absolutely beautiful building. And a fun fact.
Now we have an overwhelming amount of donations from the public. Everyone was so generous and kind this Christmas to bring things to us that we can use in our ministry. So it would be great to have the community come alongside us to sort through things and help organize it so that we can give it back to the community.
And if you're interested in helping, you can message their Project 2.5 Plus Facebook page. Now on to a quick programming note on KNOE. If you watch our newscast, we have one at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock in the evening. So in just an hour, you will be seeing Miss Jennifer Andrews at the news desk. But before that, we need to go over a quick programming notes. Let me get that pulled up. And then we have another fun story coming from the Monroe Regional Airport. So the Monroe Regional Airport is taking TSA pre-check applicants to speed up travel, and this will give passengers the chance at a fair opportunity to make their flights on time or possibly earlier. And you can hear all about what this could mean for air travel in Monroe again in our 5 o'clock show. So stay tuned, and then we'll also have more on that at 6 as well. So just be sure to keep up with everything, keep up with us, and we are excited to keep you moving along. And also coming up in the 5 is Senator Bill Cassidy. So yesterday we told you about Louisiana State Representative Julie Emerson, who's running for senator against Senator Bill Cassidy this year. And she was in Monroe to share some of her top priorities yesterday. Well, now we're hearing from Senator Bill Cassidy, And he is responded to some criticism from his U.S. Senate challenger, Julie Emerson. She said some voters have expressed disbelief in the incumbent senator's ability to show results, and Cassidy says his record proves his faithfulness to Louisiana. So be sure to tune in at 5 o'clock to hear more on what Governor Jeff Landry says. All right, and that is all we have locally coming up. Again, stick around for that 5 and 6 o'clock show, and we will have a full rundown on everything going on locally. But right after this quick break, we will move into some national news with Venezuela. I know that's a big story on the docket, so stick with us. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we are moving into news coming out of U.S. politics, the big one being Venezuela. I know that is a big thing on the docket, especially after that surprise attack on Saturday, where we were able to get Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, into custody. And since this was such a surprise, Congress has some major questions. So here is more out of Washington.
Just 2 days after U.S. forces carried out an operation to capture and arrest Nicolas Maduro and his wife and fly them back to New York to face charges related to drug trafficking, Congress is asking the administration some very tough questions. At a closed-door classified briefing on Capitol Hill, administration officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane, updated senior lawmakers on what the administration's plans are for Venezuela. President Trump on Air Force One Sunday night reiterated that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela.
Well, we're going to run everything. We're going to run it, fix it. We'll have elections at the right time. The main thing you have to fix, it's a broken country. There's no money.
But many Democrats, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, say that Congress never authorized the military action and that the U.S. plans for Venezuela's future remain vague.
So there are a lot of questions that need to be answered today by the highest levels of the administration and later on this week when the entire House and the entire Senate will be briefed.
With very few exceptions, Republican lawmakers have voiced strong support for the administration's action in Venezuela.
All the administration officials have been talking to Senate and House members on a constant basis since this happened, and this is a big part of their obligation there. We'll have a further briefing for all members of Congress sometime by midweek.
The questions from lawmakers mirror many questions from the public, namely, will there be American boots on the ground and for how long? And how much is American involvement in Venezuela going to cost taxpayers? In Washington, I'm John Decker.
And with everything going on in Venezuela, Governor Jeff Landry did have some things to say about everything going on in Venezuela. So Landry wrote in an opinion piece on Breitbart News calling for the Venezuelan leader to be executed or imprisoned at Angola. He also praised the actions of President Trump that Landry says will curb fentanyl trafficking and boost Louisiana's economy. Now, I know this is an ongoing story. We've been covering Venezuela for the last day, so be sure to stick with us on air and online, and we will keep those updates coming as we know more. But we are going to go into a quick break, and then after this, we'll have a look at the forecast, so stick with us. Welcome back, everyone. Well, thank you so much for hanging in there with us. If you've been here thus far, you know we covered some local and national news, and now we get to go into the weather. I know everyone loves keeping up with the weather. I know I do, especially, and from what my meteorologist told me, we're expecting some sunny weather today and ahead, except for Thursday and Friday. We could have some storms, maybe, hopefully not, but I'm going to toss it to someone who would know a lot more about that than me. Here is our meteorologist, Abby Zell.
It was a warm morning for us here across the Arklamas with temperatures above average. Our normal average low temperature for this time of year should be 37 degrees. We started the day off at 54, 51 in Tallulah, 57 degrees in Natchez, and 60 this morning in the city of Monroe. For the rest of the night, expect clouds to continue with low temperatures falling into the low and mid 50s. This is our current weather setup, showing that we have a ridge of high pressure continuing to build across our region. This ridge of high pressure will stay in place over the next couple of days, and that's going to lead to more warm weather. As we start off tomorrow, we are expecting areas of patchy dense fog. A dense fog advisory is active through at least 10 a.m. Wednesday morning for the eastern half of the Arklamas. Here's a look at anticipated visibilities tomorrow morning, showing that we could see visibility reduced down to less than a mile in many locations across the Arklamas, so take it slow on the roads Wednesday morning. And if you do run into areas of dense fog, make sure you use your low beams. As we talk about the rest of the day tomorrow, expect a mix of sun and clouds by the afternoon, with high temperatures climbing into the low and mid 70s. So as we time things out, heading into tomorrow morning, we start the day off with areas of patchy dense fog. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 50s to start off the day. Heading into the afternoon, we will keep clouds around with high temperatures climbing into the upper 60s and low 70s. We possibly could even see the mid 70s in some locations. Going into Thursday, we start the day off with clouds continuing. Temperatures on Thursday morning will be in the low to mid 60s to start off the day, and then heading into the afternoon, we continue to see clouds with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s Thursday afternoon. Things begin to change as we head into Thursday evening and into the overnight hours as a strong cold front moves a little bit closer to our area. A marginal level 1 out of 5 risk is now in effect for the threat of a severe weather for the northwestern corner of the Arklamas. That risk begins to expand as we head into Friday. A slight level 2 out of 5 risk is in place for the entire area for that threat of severe weather. So this is an early timeline as to what you can expect. Going into the overnight hours of Thursday and into Friday, scattered showers will be possible across the Arklamas. They will become more widespread as we head into Friday morning and into the afternoon, and that's when we could start to see some of those stronger storms developing along that cold front. Going into the weekend, we should be fairly dry to kick off a Saturday, and then heading into Sunday, we will begin to see that wet weather push further eastward with clouds continuing. It will be cooler this weekend with high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Rainfall totals will be anywhere from a half of an inch of rainfall to nearly 1 inch in total rainfall here across the Arklamas. As for tonight, we're expecting clouds to continue with low temperatures falling into the low and mid 50s. Also, we will have areas of patchy fog to start off tomorrow morning. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast showing that as we go into tomorrow, we will see sunshine with high temperatures in the mid 70s. Rain chances begin to increase Thursday evening and continue into Friday. We head into the weekend with cooler air in place and clouds. Going into the start of next work week, we start to see sunshine return with high temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we are at the final stretch in our show, but we are about to go over everything that we saw and covered in our show today. So stick with me. We're going to go through those headlines real quick, and then again, we're going to have a coming up at 5 section. So be on the lookout for those stories, and be sure to tune into our newscasts at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock tonight. So let's go ahead and get started with that recap. First off, I talked about that revitalization program in West. There is that absolutely beautiful building, and they are working on that in West Monroe right now. And another quick thing coming up in that from our community, a nonprofit is looking for some help, some volunteers. They received a lot of donations over the holidays, but they need help getting those donations organized and out to the people who need them. And then that organization is Project 2.5. And you can reach out if you're interested in helping their 2.5 plus Facebook page. So be on the lookout for them. And if you're looking to help, they're a great organization to help out. Now going into our coming up at 5 section. So we have a lot of good stories coming up in our newscasts tonight, and you will see those again on air and online later tonight if you can't make those newscasts. So let's take a look at some of those. One of them being this Forsythe Avenue construction that we have been seeing. If you drive down Forsythe, I know you have seen it. It's pretty hard to miss. So here is that construction. You're looking at it right now. And just be sure when you're driving down Forsythe to be looking out for construction workers like him and making sure that you are driving safe, driving slow, because only one lane is open. And we will keep updating you as that construction continues. Also on our show tonight is a TSA pre-check that is coming to the Monroe Regional Airport. So a lot of fun things coming to the airport, and you can hear about that. Again, I know I've been repeating myself a lot, but at 5 o'clock. And then we will also be hearing from Senator Cassidy, and he will be speaking on some comments that were made by Louisiana State Representative Julie Emerson yesterday. So be sure to tune in for that as well. And those are the shows that you will see in our 5 o'clock. Going on to this streaming show. So again, this is very new, but we have some exciting things coming up, especially tomorrow. So if you're in Ruston and you know about that Louisiana Tech Bridge, well, it is getting some renovation, and we will have a stream right here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you are interested in that project or want to see more about it, you can tune in with me. I will be here covering all of that. We will also have an exclusive interview tomorrow talking about the nasty flu. It has been going around really bad. I myself have several friends with the flu, and thankfully it has stayed away from me thus far, and I'm hoping it stays that way. But if you want to know more about the flu and how it is spreading in Louisiana and how it is spreading like wildfire in Louisiana, be sure to tune in tomorrow. Now, where to find this streaming show? So if you're watching it, you know it's online and it's in our streaming app, and I'm very thankful you are here and supporting this show. Again, very fresh, very new, and it is exciting to have some viewers here. So if you want to keep up with me, keep up with this show, it's going to be, again, on our website and streaming app at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So stick with me, and that is all we have for our streaming show today. Again, I will be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. covering that Louisiana Tech Bridge renovation. See you then.